Hello everyone, so I just want to make a short video on complexities and getting into deep configurations of org mode. Now when you use org mode, especially if you're new to org mode and if you are like me who wants to make things perfect, then you can actually get into some trouble. When you're using org mode, try not to make everything perfect, and you might be doing a lot of things with org mode. Of course, when you start using org mode, you will of course use it for basic task management. Then maybe one day you will learn about, okay, you can also use org mode to read RSS feed. You can also learn how to open a website in org mode. You can also learn within org mode, like when we talk about task management, there are so many things that you can do. Of course, you can do few basic things like creating a task, creating different files, and adding it to the agenda, and then creating a recurring task, logging time. But you can also use org mode to create documents like presentations. It could be HTML files, it could be publishing to a website. Now, I would say whatever you're doing with org mode, the way it works, the way I believe it is designed, it will do something which is ready to use, but it may not be perfect. And good thing is that you can actually make it perfect, but in the process of learning org mode and using it, sometimes you will keep on configuring it. For example, when I use org mode to create presentations using Beamer, and I have been doing it for the past 2 or 3 weeks, although of course I don't really spend my entire day doing it, but whenever I'm making a presentation in org mode using Beamer, I always keep one buffer open where I make my notes. So basically, if I learn something, I add it to my notes. If I don't really know how to do something, which is usually the case when you learn something new in org mode, you would of course go to Stack Overflow, you would of course go to Google or whatever search engine you're using, and you will search for it. And when you search for it, then you will learn or realize that yes, you can do a lot of other things with it. And then you start doing those other things, and you lose focus, you lose track of what you were supposed to do initially. So I would say whenever you're using org mode, try to maintain your focus. Focus on the output, focus on the delivery, focus on the actual work that you're trying to do, and make it, of course, when you're trying to use org mode, you should try to learn as much as you can, but do it over the period of time. You can't really make a perfect system for doing whatever you're doing with org mode in the first 2 weeks or the first 2 months. It will literally take years, and you should reach a point where you are just able to deliver. For example, if you are producing presentations using Beamer, you can actually spend your entire week making the most perfect presentation, but you don't have to. In the beginning, just add 2 lines on top of your header, like in your org file, or maybe set up your set of files, and get started. Use some themes and then do something that you can do out of the box, and make it a point to improve it over the period of time. Don't do it in the beginning. And that is what I thought I'll probably share in this video, because sometimes when you try to make something perfect, you actually lose track of the actual work that you were supposed to work on. And it has happened to me a lot in the past, especially when I was, I think sometime last year in March, when I started seriously using org mode to create LaTeX-based presentations. I think I spent a bit too much time on making my the documents, my documents perfect. And you don't need to. Sometimes you can just, live with the outcome that you get out of the box with native themes or some classes in LaTeX. And to be honest, anything that you do with org mode, and it is not really applicable to org mode, I think it is also applicable to open source in general. When you start using open source tools, you have to basically make it your own. The whole idea of using open source effectively of open source based tools, especially Linux. I mean, not really each and every open source, like open source tools, command line based utilities. The whole idea is to make it your own, and make it your own, but at the same time, share it with others. And there is, I believe, a very good online community when it comes to open source. There are a lot of people. Of course, they are not really in the majority. Majority of people are and will always use either Mac or Windows, which is fine. But if you are thinking of using open source technologies, tools like Linux, Emacs, org mode, don't really lose focus. Always deliver. Focus on the delivery and improve your workflow. Try to be more efficient slowly and gradually. All right, that is it. That is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something new. Thank you very much. Bye bye.